and subscribe because I don't want you to miss a thing. Today we're going to be talking about 3 foods you should never eat. And for the first food, this one's going to be a shocker, breakfast cereal. The reason why I'm not a fan of breakfast cereal is because it's just a fake food. Basically, you take grains, you explode them at a very high temperature, you melt them back down with large amounts of mostly high fructose corn syrup, food dye, synthetic vitamins and minerals, put it in a fancy box with a cartoon, and sell it to you as a healthy breakfast. And it's just not. So let me also tell you, cereal is expensive. You know, a box of cereal can run you anywhere from $2 to $6 depending on what kind you buy. And for a family of 5, you probably empty the entire box in one breakfast. A few of the things that work really well in our household are eggs, plain yogurt with homemade granola, fresh fruit, and oatmeal. Those are kind of our staples and they work really well for us. And they do start our day off with a bang so that we stay full until lunchtime. The second food you should never buy is vegetable oil. They really tricked you when they named it vegetable oil because this stuff is definitely not a vegetable and it's definitely not healthy. Vegetable oil is usually either soybean or canola oil, and these are the most genetically modified foods that you can buy. Another big reason you shouldn't eat this stuff is the process to create it is completely unnatural and artificial. They heat it to a really high temperature to extract the oil out of the seed, and then they use all kinds of chemical solvents to pull it out even more. And so what you end up with is a bottle full of rancid oil that has chemicals and other nasty stuff in it. The final reason you shouldn't eat vegetable oil is it's comprised of mostly omega-6 fatty acids. Studies are showing that an improper ratio of omega-3s and omega-6s is linked to cancer. And a lot of processed foods contain omega-6s instead of omega-3s. So we really need to make sure that we're not consuming so much vegetable oil so that we can properly align ourselves in the omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. The oils that I recommend instead of vegetable oil are coconut oil, butter, and olive oil. The third food you should never eat is artificial food dye. And let me tell you guys, this stuff is in everything. If you start to read the labels of your fruit snacks or Pop-Tarts or any kind of processed packaged food, you're gonna see red dye number 40 or yellow number 6 in all of those foods. And the reason this stuff is so bad is because it's known to cause quite a few allergic reactions and hyperactivity in adults and children alike. You know, I pretty much avoid artificial dye completely, but one day I was at the park with my son this summer and it was a really hot day and I forgot to pack him any water. And this really nice man at the park offered him a Kool-Aid pouch drink, and I felt really bad for my son. His cheeks were all rosy, so I let him have this drink. And let me tell you, that night for me was hell. He was just a terror. I don't know if it was the sugar amount or the red food dye, but I think it was a little of both. I will never let him have it again because it just wreaked havoc on his little system. You know, the FDA has even acknowledged that red dye number 40 is a carcinogen, but it's still in all of the food we eat. And it's also really interesting because in Europe, all the packaged foods that we have red dye number 40 in use the actual food. So if it's a strawberry breakfast bar or something like that, they use actual strawberry to make it red, where we add red dye number 40 to make it even more red. If you're looking for other alternatives, you can pretty much be sure that most foods at Whole Foods or any kind of natural store aren't going to have food that contain these food dyes. But there are also ways that you can dye food at home. For example, you can use beet or beet powder to turn things red, or carrot juice to turn things orange, or turmeric to turn things yellow. I hope you got something from this video. I'd love to hear from you guys. Is there a food that you refuse to eat? Please let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click like on this video, and share it with some of your friends. I'll talk to you guys next time. the story I told you guys about Henry and that juice drink at the park, there are situations that we can't control. And even though I said that those are 3 foods that you should never eat, life isn't black and white. And we can't let food rule our lives.